as I said, hooks. And then, so how would you design the game around hooks? Well, you'd have to get away the idea that kills and escapes are the only indication of win, and go more towards the fear, the torment the killer has inflicted. And then when you start pushing towards that, then it's all about the killer's inflicting this torment, this fear onto the survivors. And then the kills are just a bonus on top. Like, you don't need it, because they're just going to be in your next trial anyway, where you can once again torment them. You see? It's everlasting torment, or whatever. But the sad thing is, this idea I have, it's so far away from what currently has been conditioned, that I don't think people will be able to get it. I don't think people will be able to change their mind. Conditioning is very, very strong. And so many people have conditioned that you need to either escape or kill. Even the devs do it. I don't think you'll be able to do that. But I think if, you know, in a different reality where that was the case, this game would be in a healthier state. There'd be more killers being played. There'd be more perks being used. The loop designs would be different. The game would be in a different place. You have to realize the devs' data they are gathering is some of the most pointless data devs can gather. The devs are trying to make it so killers 2k on average, right? 2k can be 2 hooks or 10 hooks. Well, there's an analogy we've made, and I think it's a really good analogy, and I'll say it now, about burgers. So the devs' data is this bad. They're asking 2 chefs, they're asking 2 people to make a burger. They don't know how good they are. One of them is the first time they've ever cooked, and the other is a Michelin star chef. They see both burgers and they say, nice, you both made a burger. That's it. That's exactly how they're looking at the balance. All they see is the outcome. They don't see how well the person did. Terrible data. And this gets people hungry for burgers whenever I make that analogy, which is funny. Yeah, no, what hamburger? Is that guy AFK? No, he isn't. Like, how are you going to dictate who are the better cook when you're just seeing it as 2 burgers and not what went into them? Like, it's the stupidest shit. Like, they're supposed to be intelligent, and they have to be somewhere, but it baffles me how they think that's... I think it's just because they're a bit lazy with the data. Like, it is easy data to gather. It's not good data, but it is easy data to gather. And it also validates them. It does validate that they are doing good. They're getting a pat on the back by the data. Because the data's saying, yes, you are getting 2 kills on average-ish all this time. But it's such bad data to, like, aim for. The very best data to gather, what I would try and gather, would be on every MMR level, with every killer, how many hooks are they getting versus how many gens are being done. So at 0 gens, how many hooks on average? Like 1 gen, how many hooks on average? 2 gen, how many hooks on average? 3 gen, how many hooks on average? That's good data, because then you'll get an idea of the kind of what would I say? What's the word? Not the power, I don't want to say the power, the kind of, the pressure, I guess. The impact, the strength of the anti-loops and the chase on every killer. Like, there's another thing what could happen what's is bad, and if you just went for hooks. If you didn't look at hooks with how many gens are done. Because a lot of times I go against killers, they might get like 1 or 2 hooks, and then they get 5 more when all gens are done. So I don't think you should even count hooks once 5 gens are done, because a lot of the time survivors just run in and trade hooks. So I would look at every MMR with every killer, how many hooks they are getting at each level up until 4 gens completion. That's what I would look at. That is data which would actually give you a real understanding of what's happening. You would see the difference in different MMRs. You would see the difference in different killers. Nice. Nice. God damn it. Wow, okay. We're baiting a lot of dead odds there. I only have one. I think you're baiting about 3 dead odds. Firstly, we need to change the MMR incentive on kills versus hooks. Then the data will be valuable. Yeah, but it'll still be valuable with kills because they'll see how shit their idea of going for kills is. They will start seeing at the higher MMR, you know, any killer other than Blight and Nurse getting like 3 hooks on average or 2 hooks on average before 4 gens are done. Even though their data's saying, oh look, they're getting 2 kills on average. How good are we? It'd actually be like, no, actually, you're not that good. This is actually kind of bad. It kind of exposes how bad and weak the data is. But I don't think they'll do it. No, 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 no. So like, this is the best, like one of the best kills in the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's actually quite high. 6 hooks with 1 gen left. So this guy would be 6 hooks on average, and this is very high. You will not average this with many killers at this point. They have a really hard time admitting when an idea is bad rather than doubling down on their terrible takes. They're very stubborn. They're very, very stubborn. But the thing is, they've got kind of confirmation bias, haven't they? They've got the data telling them they're doing it right. Instead of questioning that the data's good or... Well, instead of questioning if the data's good, just be like, well, the data's saying that we're doing well, so we're doing well. Some cost I'll say, no. Confirmation bias. Or validation. Maybe validation more than anything. Creating something which validates their belief, but the thing they've created doesn't make any sense. For good data. Its sole purpose is just for validation. Six hooks at 1 gen left is a rare occurrence, yeah. Yeah. Even for Blight. You still should probably look at the 5 gen one, but have that as kind of like a minor thing, because sometimes they can get 1 hook and then at 5 gens is where all the hooks are. You know. I've had games where I've had like 1 hook and then I've ended up with like 3 kills. Because they just went really altruistic and made loads of mistakes at the end. Are you, you are getting away now. So look at this! Look at this for a perfect example. So, this game, he actually only got 1 kill. So the data will have actually said this Blight wasn't good. Even though he got 6 hooks in 4 gens. Like... And then there'll be Blights who are just like face camping and getting like fucking Winnoed and getting like 3 kills and the data's like, yeah, this killer's really good. Fuck's sake. It is whatever. When I start talking about it, I get so passionate because I'm very passionate, but god damn it, devs. Please stop being so stubborn. Your data's very bad. It validates you in your kind of delusion that it's everything's going good, right? If you get away from that and just go back from yourself and just look and be like, is this actually good? You know, is this good data to gather? Or should we try and gather some more data for at least get a bit of an understanding if we are going in the right direction, right? So if you really like the kills, whatever, you know, you think that's good, at least gather some more data, gather the hooks, just gather that and see kind of how it correlates to the kills. Why don't you do that? I personally think it's just because of it's easy. It's just really quick in it. If you just base everything off kills and escapes, it's easy. You don't have to think about all the nuances of the game then. Because they tried it with the emblem system, and they didn't understand how to do it. The emblem system was a very good idea, they just didn't understand how to do it. So it kind of looks like they've just give up on it. And created the kills and hooks MMR. That's what it looks like to me. Anyway, gonna call a session, get someone tweet, etc, etc. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, remember to throw us a follow.